Today's plan, first of all, we need to run to the gas station, grab a bag of ice, and like 5 unsweet teas. Okay, gonna be a scorcher today. Gonna be hot. Next thing we're gonna do is I'm going to try to get the sides built on this bed. I'm gonna try to get the fenders put in. I'll probably just do the 2 sides. Maybe if I'm real ambitious, I might start working on the back, but I gotta get the spare tire off and all that other nonsense. But should make for a good time. Should be a pretty neat looking truck. I'm hoping by the end of today we got the sides on. At least the 2 sides on the tires. Man, you are just talking. You're just talking. You be quiet over there, you dirty dog. Look at him. Oh, look at that dog.
I'm gonna have to run back through the footage and make sure that all that showed up, but I will explain it again on how I got this measurement. Now, what we're doing is we're marking out center of axle right now, which from front of bed to center of axle is 54¼ inches. All right, that is the center of where the axle is gonna run. Now I'm gonna run a straight edge down it. Now these little 4-foot straight edges, they are so handy. For fitting pipe, for marking out plate, I mean, they come in handy. So, this is just gonna be a rough eyeball guess. Okay. Take you another measurement down here, make sure you didn't get too crazy. Come back over here, we need to measure the spread on this fender where we have it sitting right now, because that's gonna give us our marks from here to here, and then we can work on getting the elevation on where this radius is gonna need to be sat. So one of the easiest ways I've figured out how to find this spread. Now to me, this whole fabbing right here, very easy to do, it's very simple. The tire wells, I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's a pain in the butt. But one of the easiest ways I've figured out how to do it. Once you figure out where this thing is rolled, make sure that everything's basically really squared up to your bed, that you got the same distances from here to the tires on both sides, all right? Then your well is pretty much centered up where it needs to be. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this, and all I did was just kind of slide this out just a little, just enough to where I can hook up onto it. Now I know I'm 37 inches to the outside. These are 36-inch tire wells, but what happened is I spread them out just a little with these dummies, and it kind of pushed it out just a little. So right now I'm 37 inches. Now we're gonna go back over here. We're gonna mark out 37 inches, but we gotta do just a little bit of math, all right? So let's get back over here. Okay, guys. So we know we're 37 inches from outside to outside, which is where we wanna be. You don't wanna measure the inside where they've crimped that tire well, because if you do that, then you're gonna be short, because you gotta measure the outside for when you slide this up in here and go to weld it, all right? If you measure short, it's gonna be pushed down too much, and then it's actually gonna pinch it just a little too. So 37 inches is where I have this one spread out, outside to outside. Now, we know, let me see, make sure you can see the center line on here. We know that this center line is 54¼ inches from the front of the bed to the center of the tire well. So we're gonna write that down. 1/4 inches, that's center of the axle. Now 37 inches outside to outside of the tire well. So what we gotta do is take 37 inches and divide it in 2. So we're 18½ inches on both sides of this line. Now, the tricky part about it is that you guys gotta think about, now we're 54¼ inches to the center. We need to minus 18½ inches to get this side of the mark, and then we need to add 18½ inches to get the other side of the mark. Let's go 54 inches, 1/4 minus 18 inches, 1/2, 35 3/4 inches. Now, Now this measurement, 35 3/4 inches, is gonna be pulled from face of this plate, so the front of the bed over, and it's gonna mark where this is gonna need to get cut right here. So 35 3/4 inches. So 35 3/4 inches, and then we are 72 3/4 inches. Okay, 72 3/4 inches. My bride's not gonna be overly excited with me. I've already called her out of the truck like 3 times. Well, let's go together as a team. Maybe we can all help each other. Oh, little lady.
Yeah.
Can you help me, please? Oh, the whole team appreciates it.
Oh, I bet they do.
And now we're gonna pull a measurement. There you go. Maybe that's there we go. Just like that. Okay, so we're gonna be. It's been a flipping struggle today, just trying to record some stuff. Camera's running out of memory. The batteries die on it. I mean, taking a little bit of time. But guys, right now what we're getting ready to do, we're getting ready to pull the elevation on this. Probably the easiest way I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna bump it up next to that because I know that that's where I want it. All right. I'm just pulling it right up to it. I'm gonna be 5 3/4 inches. 5 3/4 inches. So let's go over here and I'll show you what I already have done. Now what I did off of that measurement me and Liza just pulled is I laid out, so I know I'm 19 inches from bottom of here to the top of the plate. So 19 inches. I laid out the top run. We're 4-inch step up here, laid up the top, laid up the top of the plate on the lower level, top of the plate on the higher level. Whew, jeez. Okay, now hopefully you guys can see this. Now this is the top of the plate. This is where I took my measurement from. This is the center line of the tire well. We're gonna be 5 3/4 inches from this line down. So 5 3/4 inches. Now we gotta actually figure out how we're gonna mark this thing. Ooh, everything's lining up good. I think that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna take this. This has got a straight edge on it. We're just gonna bump it right up next to this and just keep it straight up and down on it. Now it's not quite hitting our outside lines, but hey, I would rather cut small than cut too big, all right? You can fix a little gap. It is hard to fix a big gap. I mean, I've seen people where they have to take copper flat strap, stick it up under there and weld over it because it won't stick to that copper, but I mean, it'll fill a big gap that way. Just avoid it if you can avoid it. It's not that you can't go buy more plate or whatever, but it's just not fun to have to go buy more plate. Let's put it that way. That's probably the best way to put that. We're gonna get this thing cut, get it set up there, go take a gander at it. We might have to cut it a couple times, but that is no big deal. We can do that. That's a piece of cake, you know. But just go slow. I mean, better to cut small than to cut big, all right? So we can always mark it again and cut it again. We're gonna use a little flame on a cutting torch. We don't wanna warp the panel out too bad. Just like I said, guys, you just gotta go kind of slow on it when you use a flame. When you use a saw, you can just cut right through it. It ain't no big deal. But when you use a flame, you gotta be, heat transfer is big on stuff like this. Now it's got brakes in it. It's gonna hold its form pretty good. And we shouldn't have too big a problem with it, but hey, either way, just, you know, take your time, make it work. Okay, we're about a 1/4 inch from the sides on both sides, which is fine. I can cone rock it. Still got to cone rock it once I get it cut. But there's everything laid out. We're gonna cut this first. And hopefully go sit it up there and take a look at it before we finish up with everything else. We'll see. Okay, there's the fender, you guys. No turning back now. It's over. I will here in just a sec. I'm gonna cut it all out and then we'll. Oh, jeez. That ain't bad. A lot of guys ask me about this saw too. It's a Makita saw. Let's see, blade size 7 1/4, 12 volt, Makita. I think this is the parts number 35456. That might be it, you guys. I don't know, but hey, this saw is pretty freaking awesome. My word, look at how good that thing fits on there. I mean, that's easy weld. That's a piece of cake. Hey, that'll work. Like I said, right here, it's hitting right here in this body line. So what we gotta do is we gotta actually cut this back. I was worried about my cab, but we got this piece of plate. We got everything pushed up against it. Nothing's gonna get to the cab, which is good. Protect your stuff. Way cheaper just to protect something than to have to repaint it or rebuild it, or you know, you cut a hole through your cab. That'd be ridiculous. So all we're doing is just cutting this back. Now remember that's going to squat, so you want it pretty high when it's up. That'd suck to squat that thing clear to the bottom and have it bottom out and then have to cut that fender out, cut all your stuff back out. Just wouldn't be no good. So leave it high. But hey, I think that thing turned out pretty freaking good here. Cool. Okay guys, one of the things we're gonna have to do is you can tell just how flimsy, I mean all it is just getting held on by a few tacks up here. That stiffened it up a little, the fender, but what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to weld this piece in right here to hold this, all right? Basically what we're gonna wind up doing is we're gonna build the lead well with that in mind, all right? So this is gonna come in, we're gonna cut us a couple holes in right here, get it built, be good to go. But right now we're getting ready to start on this other fender. We're gonna try to get it put on today. And then, hey, this has got a little bit of a lip on it. Like I said, it's better to cut, you know, small, which in this case would be long, than too short, you know? I mean, you can always take a skill saw and just run it right along this, cut it right along the inside of it, done. But man, it's hard. You'd have to redo it if you cut it short, all right? One-man show gets kind of tough. Okay guys, all I did was I went and took measurements off this fender that's already done. Just pulled straight to here, got right where it starts to roll over and break, 5 3/4, and then from the front, from here to the bottom of where this is going to be is 2 1/2. That's going to give you a pretty dang good idea of where this fender needs to be. Dang, like basically right there. All right. Okay, so over there, it's on. This is only sticking in about 1/4 inch. We're gonna get that moved up right about there, and just put a little tap